Hi, I'm Amber Anderson. I'm a leadership coach. I specifically help highly sensitive leaders learn how to maximize their impact in a way that is authentic, joyful, and expansive through content, coaching, and community. So let me ask you this. Has anyone ever asked you why you're so sensitive? Or maybe while you were growing up, you were often told, stop being so sensitive. Maybe you felt different and wondered, what is wrong with me? Why do little things bother me so much that other people don't even seem to notice? Or maybe you've just noticed that you more easily become tired or overwhelmed when you kind of look around and compare yourself to other leaders. If this is you, don't worry, nothing has gone wrong. There is nothing wrong with you, but you might be a highly sensitive person. This is a term coined by Dr. Elaine Aron in 1991, and it just means that you experience things differently because you're literally wired differently. And although Dr. Aron is a clinical psychologist, high sensitivity is not a diagnosis, it's just a trait. It's an inborn trait. So today we're going to dig into how it impacts your leadership. Being a highly sensitive leader means that you have a highly tuned nervous system. So it means you're deeply sensitive to physical, emotional, and social situations. This includes things like sounds, smells, bright lights, scratchy or tight fabrics, crowds, and especially other people's moods. And this is just to name a few. High sensitivity is a trait that about 20% of the population is born with. So, yeah, that means about 1 in 5 people is an HSP or a highly sensitive person. So, if this is you, you are definitely not alone. And most of the time, if there are more than 5 people in the room, you're probably not even the only HSP in the meeting. So, as highly sensitive people, we do face unique challenges when it comes to leadership, but we also have unique strengths. First, it's important to know that your brain and sensitive nervous system process deeply, much more deeply than non HSPs. You feel your emotions intensely. You pick up on more subtleties in your environment, even unconsciously, and you have more active mirror neurons. That is the part of your brain responsible for empathy. I really want you to let that last point sink in. Your brain is literally wired to be substantially more empathetic than most of the population. And that, my friend, is a leadership superpower. There is an empathy deficit in leadership, and HSPs were literally born to fill this gap. The official definition of empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Danielle Pink, author of several best-selling books on leadership, motivation, and human behavior, says it best. Leadership is about empathy. It's about having the ability to relate and to connect with people for the purpose of inspiring and empowering their lives. As an HSP, you are uniquely equipped to do this. You are wired to do this. Your empathy is a special gift that allows you to interpret another person's body language, energy, and subtle expression of emotion at a much deeper level than non HSPs. This is beneficial to us as leaders because it gives us a deep understanding of the people we lead. It enables us to lead from a genuine place of service because we understand what they truly desire, what motivates and inspires them, and what will be most beneficial for them. This, of course, means we're also highly susceptible to compassion fatigue, so it is something we have to pay attention to. Having heightened empathy, perception, intuition, and presence is a huge asset to us as leaders, but it does take a considerable amount of mental and emotional energy, which is why we tire faster and are more likely to become overwhelmed more easily. Unfortunately, many HSPs have an internal struggle about these challenges because we feel misunderstood or even inadequate. Comparing ourselves can often lead to feelings of self doubt, confusion, and frustration as to why we can't seem to keep up with our peers. Then we overcompensate by ignoring our natural needs and pushing through to meet the perceived expectations placed upon us. This is what causes us to burn out. And that's exactly why we have to find a way to make our work both fulfilling and sustainable. It's just not an option. We have to find ways to support our highly sensitive nervous system and mind, or risk burning out from overwhelm and exhaustion. The good news is you have support right here on this channel. I'm focusing my efforts going forward on providing you with the information you need to understand that you have different capacities and strengths so you can let go of the need to compare yourself to others and begin to leverage your HSP strengths as the leadership superpowers that they are. So let's get back to those strengths, shall we? While empathy is the primary strength of highly sensitive people, we're also great with details. We have an amazing ability to pay attention to the details. We're great at being proactive and we plan really well. We have a strong sense of responsibility. We're very intuitive, thoughtful, and creative. We're reflective and we're resourceful. We're visionary. We have tons of ideas and the innovative problem solving and disciplined decision making to actually bring those ideas to fruition. The thing is, we often don't recognize these strengths in ourselves because remember, one of our challenges is thinking that our differences make us inadequate or less than other leaders. Imposter syndrome and fear of rejection are both prevalent in highly sensitive leaders. And let's face it, the demands of leadership don't exactly cater to our highly sensitive nervous systems. The constant stimulation, competing priorities, demanding deadlines, and expectations for leaders to be highly visible and always available do not set us up for success. But that does not mean you can't be successful. Again, the number one characteristic of your trait is empathy, and that alone makes you an exceptional leader. And with awareness and the right support, you can thrive as a highly sensitive leader. You can learn to manage your sensitivity in both your body and your mind. You can learn to put yourself first. And if just the thought of that makes you cringe, then you need to learn to put yourself first. That is the only thing that will prevent burnout. And remember, you can't give what you don't have. If you're overwhelmed and burned out, you can't show up with focus, intention, and empathy. Sadly, this is the case for many leaders, HSPs and non HSPs alike. We have to do better for the people that we lead. Creating boundaries around your energy ensures you have more to give at work and at home. To get started, try your best to avoid hectic days. This is going to mean different things to different people, but a common issue is back to back meetings with no breaks throughout the workday. Having to run from one thing to the other all day can be tiring for the best of us. But for HSPs, it leads to overstimulation and overwhelm, causing complete exhaustion before the day is even over. Start to build your schedule so you have even small breaks between meetings. Like 5 to 10 minutes is better than nothing. And be sure to take a proper break to have a nutritious meal midday. During the short breaks, do something to soothe your nervous system and reset. This can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, or it can be doing a 10-minute meditation or movement practice through an app like the Daily Calm. These intentional daily practices actually widen your window of tolerance for stimulation so that over time, you're gradually able to tolerate more before you reach that point of exhaustion. And that is the goal. Okay, that was a lot. So let's summarize. The biggest cost to us as highly sensitive leaders is that our nervous system can become overloaded. Every human has a limit as to how much information or stimulation can be taken in before they become overloaded, overstimulated, overwhelmed, and just plain over it. We simply reach that point sooner than others. This does not, however, make us less than other leaders. It simply makes us different and better in other ways. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you of a super cool new tool that you have access to. There is a link in the description below this video for Ask Amber. I know it's cheesy, but it's a really cool AI version of me that if you have a question on any of the videos that have ever been posted to this channel, you can type it in to this AI and it will scan all of the hours of content for you and summarize a customized question to answer just for you. It does it in seconds. It is incredible. It will save you tons of time and tons of trouble. So if you ever wanted 24/7 access to a leadership coach, now's your chance. All you need to do is enter your name and email, and you will be all set up for 24/7 access to ask Amber anything about any video ever posted on this channel. I hope to see you over there. Thanks for watching.